In this video, we're going to be discussing our map options zipper, which is the one at the bottom right. So if we click the zipper, expand it, the first icon here is our map options or map settings. What this allows us to do is it actually allows us to turn on and off point names, descriptions, elevations, along with a few other features. So for example, if I turn on the point names, descriptions, elevations, you can see that they all activate, and if I zoom out, it gets pretty cluttered here. So normally when you're working on your job, you normally just have the point names on. The rest of this information will show up as soon as you stake the point. So you'll see the description, you'll see the elevation, as well as the attributes when the point is actually staked during layout. This just kind of controls the screen you see, the map screen that you see while you're kind of just moving about. The laid out points option here, I have a few staked points here. If we leave this checked, the staked points show up as either green checkboxes or red X's, which means the green checkbox shows that the point was staked in tolerance and the red X shows that it was staked out of tolerance. If we uncheck that, the points just disappear and you can work to a blank screen showing you no points when you're done laying everything out. Totally your preference on how you want to set this up and use this. The option below for the scale bar, as you can see, we have a scale bar down here. You can toggle it on and off. Corner bullseye actually shows up only when you are laying out. So when you're in the measure menu, you can turn on the corner bullseye, which will show you the bullseye screen in the upper left-hand corner. We can also toggle in the solid model. So if you have a 3D model, which this one is, we can turn on the solid model and basically it will solidify our model and show us where the walls are, where everything is, kind of as if it were a solid. We have some transparency settings down here. So basically with this, this shows it as 25% transparent. This goes to 50 and this goes to 75% transparent. So you can mess around with those and kind of see, view your model how you want to view it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back to a wireframe view, and I'm going to go back to a top view. Our next option here is to actually change the background colors. We have quite a few options here. There's using a black background, white, and blue model line. We also have this option here, which will kind of cycle through some different colors that are available for basically for your use. Normally you set this to whatever visibility is best for you. If you're out in the sunlight, it might be the black background or the white background. Just kind of go through that and see what you want to see which one works best. The options down here, we can actually click these buttons to turn off all points or to turn off the model. You can toggle between these two. If at any point there's just too many points and you kind of want to see where you're at in the model, you can turn those off. Go through your model and turn them back on. Just an easy toggle switch here. So we're going to go back to the flyout. Our next option here is layers. So within layers, we can actually turn certain layers on and off. For example, if I just want to keep my grid layer on, I can select the grid layer, click this button here, and that will turn everything off except for my grid. I can then kind of go through here and let's say I wanted to turn my walls on. I can find my walls layer, turn that on. Let's go through these and actually turn some of these on. Here's the walls layer that I was looking for. So if I wanted to turn my walls on, I can go through here and basically turn on whichever layers I want and need. If you want to turn everything back on, clear your selection and then click the button up here again and it will turn everything back on for you. We can also filter for layers. For example, I'm going to put in C dash and hit apply, and it'll find all the layers that have C dash in it. So if I click this button, it's going to turn off all those layers, which is basically all of my site work. And I can toggle those on and off to make my view basically change my view any way I want so that I can see what I need to instead of having too much information, which can get a bit annoying and overwhelming. Um, Going back to the zipper, we also have a section box view that we can create. So if you click on the section box view, I already have a couple that are preset in here, but if I select this section box view, you can see that it limits my view to this section box. Now the section box is adjustable to however you want it. There are sliders here that you can drag and you can adjust to basically see what you want to see. It's very useful if you have a small area you're working in and you don't want to see the full map. You can adjust this. There are toggles to adjust the elevation as well. Um, there it is. So if you basically pull this toggle up, it will display whatever's above it, or if you want to lower it to where you just see kind of just the bottom, so everything below the ceiling, you can do that as well. Um, and you can create more section boxes by clicking the plus sign and basically continuing off of that. Anytime you want to turn off the section box, just click the button and it'll bring you back to your full map view. Okay, moving forward, the next option here is actually our model option. So we can have more than one model loaded with a job. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to turn my layers back on. So now I have all my layers back on. So I have two different models in here. Um, they're both of the same building. One of the models, this one in particular, actually has all the site work with it. So if I turn this model off, I can just view this model here, which doesn't have the site work. A lot of contractors like to actually have grids on as a separate model, so that way they can just turn on their grid lines and just view those with the points, and then be able to toggle the building on and off. Um, so that's basically something you can do, and basically have more than one model loaded at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this model back on. And the last option here is the information icon or the identity icon. If we select it and then select one of our points, it's going to give us some information or all the information that is available for that point. If I select that one, for example, I know it's a FCP 115 and it's a control point. If I select one of these, it tells me that it's a half-inch hanger, tells me which layer it's on, and whatever attributes are associated with it.